So today, this is actually really cool. So today is going to be a minifigure review, but it's something really cool. So back a while ago, Super7 announced that they had the Godzilla license. This is, for those of you who don't know what Super7 is, they are a collectibles company, kind of like within the mid-range of like NECA and I would say Mezco. They make a lot of cool stuff. One of their main known things is the reaction style of figures. Now, these reaction style figures, you've probably seen them at your local comic book shops, FYE, GameStop. Basically what they are is they take a property, say like Godzilla himself, or say the Wolfman, or Alien, the Xenomorph, and basically put them into a style of figure called the reaction figure, which is basically the old classic kind of Kenner style Star Wars figures that everybody used to collect, which is really cool. But Super7 announced that they would be doing Ultimate style figures, which are kind of like their cool bigger size figures, like within the 7-inch scale. And this is their first offering for Godzilla in figure form. So for a little background, this was a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive. Technically, they're not home, not quite at the office Comic-Con reveal, which was pretty funny. It was really cool. A lot of the cool stuff they revealed. This guy in particular caught my eye. So for those of you who don't know, this is based off the Shogun Warrior Godzilla from back in the day of the 70s. So for those of you who don't know, Shogun Warriors was a line licensed by Mattel in the 70s that actually consisted of quite a few Japanese anime and tokusatsu properties like Mazinger Z and a lot of other ones that I can't name. But it also included your boy Godzilla and Rodan, with a few exceptions with Super Sentai. And one of the things you'll notice immediately about this figure, it looks nothing like Godzilla. So the crazy thing, the bigger version of this guy, which is the original figure, goes for a hefty price. I think it's around $300, like $369, although they could shoot up to more. I think it may be over $1,000, but I'm not completely sure. I can't remember. I've seen two in my life that are complete, and they go for, the asking prices were like $369, which is a lot. But this is super cool. For those of you who can't spend $360, you got this guy, which is the reaction figure. So first things first, they did an amazing job of recreating the box from this figure. So you got Godzilla, the adult collectible, not a toy, Shogun figure. Now, the Shogun figures actually had a little controversy. I'm not completely sure why, but I can look it up in a minute and kind of basically give you the baseline of it. So, Godzilla Shogun Warrior figure, tongue flashes, pretend flames, the perfect addition to your collection. Contents, Godzilla figure, 3 and 3/4 inch tall, tail assembly not required, which is really cool. Then you get the Toho Limited right there, which is really awesome. They did a really good job of kind of like matching the old aesthetic of like these kind of boxes. Then you got Godzilla Shogun Warriors with Super7. Then you got the back here, which is really cool. Not an adult collectible, not an adult collectible, not a toy, which is really cool. And the barcode, and you got Toho Unlimited. So with that out of the way, let's get Godzilla out of the packaging. And voila! Here we have the Super7 Shogun Warrior Reaction Godzilla figure out of the packaging. And it's super cool. Like, I'm super happy to have this guy in my collection. It is just, because the normal one is really expensive, and I don't know if I could fit it anywhere in my room, but this was super cool. It's very cool to see Super7 kind of delve into, like, kind of really deep dives with the Godzilla stuff. So, let's get a quick close-up of this guy really quickly. Right in here we have a close-up of the Shogun Warrior Godzilla, and this guy looks super cool. Very much harkens back to that original toy. So one of the reasons this line was so controversial was, unlike this little guy, the right hand right here could actually do like a rocket punch kind of thing, which is really cool. I think it was actually, on the original toy, it's actually like a spring right here, so that would actually like shoot the fist off, which is really interesting. And also to note, I think you all noticed, this doesn't exactly look like Godzilla, but it is such really kind of iconic in a way, even though it doesn't look like him, it's just super cool to kind of have this like cool little figure. But either way, they do add an illusion to it. The wrist can rotate right here, which is really, really good. They actually use a really, really cool green right here. I wish I could get some photos of the, I actually may, depending on how that works out, some photos of the original Godzilla. But I actually got this guy a while ago, and I was really happy to get him. I think he's super, super cool. And also, very much like the original, his, like the tongue shoots like little flames to give the illusion of the atomic breath, which is really, really cool. But it is very, very, very minimal kind of paint detailing, and also like the articulation on the tail right here, and also the joint right here, which is really, really good. Like the arms can rotate fully around. So this is like what you're gonna get out of reaction figures, and I think for honestly, this is really, for Super 7's first Godzilla figure, this is a really excellent offering, I think, for their first really show at any of the Godzilla figures. They do have a few t-shirts too, which they also do, but I'm super excited because like I really like a lot of the reaction figures. I think they're really, really cool. But yeah, I just think this guy's really, really cool. But this guy, actually have some other Super 7 figures to compare him to. I actually only have a few, but we'll also get into some comparisons to some other Godzilla figures within this kind of scaling. So let's see that right now. Here he is compared to, like, really my only two other Super 7 figures I have. These guys are actually really, really cool. So these are actually blind bag xenomorphs you could technically get. So there was a different kind of xenomorph with each, kind of like a random pick of what you could get. And I got this cool acid glow one and this red one right here. And it kind of gives you an idea of, like, what Super 7 figures are. They're very much like kind of these old kind of vintage style looking figures, which is really, really cool. And they're really at a cheap before, like, I think they're normally like 20 bucks, like these kind of big figure, like these little figures right here, because their bigger figures are a little bit more expensive. They're in between, I would say, a NECA figure and a Mezco figure. Pretty expensive. They are pretty good quality and scale of a NECA figure, but they aren't as expensive. Like, they're in the middle ground of like how expensive they are, like, because Mezco can be relatively expensive and NECA is really not as expensive, is more affordable. So that's kind of like what you get with the bigger style figures, but these reaction figures are kind of like their main bread and butter, and a lot of them are really, really cool. I don't really collect the line all too much, but I knew I had to get this guy, and also seeing them compared to these other xenomorphs are really, really cool to see. And here he is compared to some other kind of 3.75 inch scale figures, or 3.75 inch figures. You got the Creep from Monstars, from the Creep Show, of course. You have the Vintage Collection Mandalorian Din Djarin, the Toonie Terrors Sam from NECA, and also the Snake Plissken Pop Soda from Funko Pop, which is really, really cool. So it is really, really cool to see him scale with these other ones, so you're kind of getting an idea of what the scale is for these particular figures. This one's a little bit bulky, and also these are all from different companies, so you kind of get an idea. This is the closest I could come to, like, for NECA, because this is the smallest figure. I think smallest kind of figures they do are these Toonie Terrors, which are fantastic, by the way. I haven't done a proper review on them, but they're really, really cool. But anyway, it's really cool to see this Godzilla with all these other kind of 3/4 inch scale figures. They look really, really great with each other. And for one little fun little comparison, last fun little comparison, here we have the Funko Pop FYE exclusive glow-in-the-dark Godzilla with the atomic breath, the NECA Shin Godzilla, this little HG King of the Monsters Godzilla, the Destruction Pack from Bandai, Burning Godzilla, and of course the SD Godzilla from 2014 by Bandai from back in the day. So you kind of get an idea of what you're dealing with these kind of big, like, compared to these other Godzilla figures, which are technically a little bit smaller. They actually kind of go down. If I actually wish I had them in order, so it'd be this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy, that guy. So it is really, really cool, so you can kind of get an idea of all the other Godzilla figures you're getting out of this line. well, you're getting out of this particular Godzilla figure. I think it's really, really cool. I don't know why I said line, just because this is the only one. But I really hope for the future of Super 7 to give us more, and probably some of these designs too. Here we have the Reaction Shogun Godzilla defeating a Xenomorph, and this is exactly what I think I would be like a kid within the 70s of him fighting an alien. So yeah, overall thoughts on the Shogun Warriors Godzilla reaction figure. I think it's a great little piece for the collection. It's a really great start for Super 7's Godzilla license, I think. They also come out with a few shirts, including a Godzilla one and I think like a Hedorah run that's like a Rorschach test, which looks really, really cool, and also a kind of like collage one, which looks really, really cool. But this is their first Godzilla figure, and I'm very, very excited to see what the future holds for Super 7. I'm really excited to see if we'll get like more kind of variations of different kind of monsters and everything, and also maybe hopefully we'll get some cool like variants off of like kind of more obscure kind of characters that we've never really gotten before, which I think would be really, really cool. Like, imagine doing like, you know, one of the old black rubbery Godzillas that you could get as a kid like at a dollar store. One of those, like, basically think of the one that Roseanne has, but in a reaction style. I think that would be pretty cool. So yeah, that's my thoughts. I think it's a great little piece, and I can't wait to see more of Super 7's offerings with Godzilla. And with that being said, that's the video today. So that's Figure Review Friday. It's a little shorter one, of course. Also, make sure to check us. Make sure to hit like, subscribe, and hit the little bell notification, as you all know. Make sure to so you get notified when we upload and it's come out Mondays, What's the Box Wednesdays, Figure Review Fridays, and so forth. Also check us out on Mercari, Instagram, and Facebook. All links will be down below. And with that being said, I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and peace.